What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the NECC Week 8. So I think this is the last you'll probably be seeing of me for a little bit here. But we've got two fantastic teams, two teams that have really pushed themselves to the forefront of their league right here. We've got the Bryant Bulldogs versus the NJCU Gothic Knights. And right now, both of these teams are 6-1 right now in the league. They're both ranked 2 and 3, respectively, with Bryant being slightly above NJCU. So it's going to be a really, really close match today. How you doing, Worst?
Nice to be here, Fang. I'm gonna cast some good Valorant here. I mean, like you said, 6-1 in the league, 2 and 3 respectively. Only one map differential, like 12-2 for Bulldogs, 12-3 here for the Gothic Knights. So it's a very close race between these two, and this is gonna separate them. Gonna separate that 2 and 3 spot respectively. And really, it's all about that consistency in these leagues like that. You're playing a lot of different teams, a lot of different strategies, and so far, both these teams have shown that they can consistently have the upper hand on their opponent. So always love seeing that coming out here, and hopefully both these teams can get a good grasp on what they want to do.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, seeing two teams that are this even in the league, that's scary stuff right there. Especially for both of them. I believe this is gonna determine seeding for playoffs, if I recall correctly, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I believe we've got I've seen a lot of NJCU this semester. They have been looking really, really nice out there. I've only been pretty much seeing W's come out from this entire time. But Bryant, their record speaks for themselves. It shows how consistent they are. And I'm wondering how it's going to go today. I know NJCU is going to be starting on defense for all 3 of our maps today. Why don't we go back to talking about a little bit of the maps? I believe it's Ascent, Haven, and
Ascent, Bind into Haven.
Save Bind. Okay, so Ascent, Bind, and Haven. I mean,
yeah.
3 classics, three maps that I personally like a bunch. I'm a big Bind fan.
No Fracture. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna.
Yo, they had Fracture last week. Not gonna lie.
They had Fracture last week. How did it go? How did it go?
It was nuts. I mean, just seeing how NJCU was able to play around that map, it was a little scary at first, but they managed to close out the game pretty nicely. But that map is super chaotic, just util usage in terms of how tight everything squeezes together. It can lead to a lot of volatile situations, but it looks like NJCU is a lot better equipped than their opponent. I believe they're up against Queens the last time I commentated for them. So it's they can do it. They have not only done both, but they've done all of them. They've done all the maps really well. So it's kind of nutty.
It's nice to see teams can come in on different maps and bring in strategies perhaps that they might not have practiced a lot. Obviously, very new map in the pool. It's kind of in a weird place in terms of community perspective right now because we haven't seen extremely high level play on that map yet. You haven't really fleshed it out. A lot of the other maps you're like, oh, we have these execs and all that kind of stuff, and we learned that from pro play, but you don't have that for Fracture yet. So for in these college or amateur tournaments, you gotta kind of make your own out there, and glad to see they did that.
It's true. We haven't really seen Fracture too much at a high level yet. So again, these teams are fleshing out their own little meta. I guess this is where it starts at pretty much at the college level, and then it moves upward to there to all the way at the top where you see the VCT and you see all those teams like Sentinels. We'll see what kind of meta we'll see carved out, or if those guys at the top level, sometimes they can be a little stubborn, so they're like, I'm not touching that map with a 10-foot pole. I'm never. But
like Breeze in Berlin.
Yeah.
It's like Breeze in Berlin.
For it. But it looks like we are moving over to Ascent right now. We've got the champ select up right now. I'm curious to see what Bryant is going to pull off here. It looks like we've got the core 5 right here for NJCU. We've got Greedy, who's definitely probably going to pick Jet here. Seriously, Serial, who honestly does a lot in terms of being a very multifaceted duelist player. We might see Reyna. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Raze. Demi-Urge, fresh on Astra this season. I believe they just started playing Astra at the season's beginning, and they look pretty amazing. Justin, also a fantastic Sky player, and Mai being a fantastic Sentinel player as well. Now, I would want you to look out for Greedy and Seriously Worst. I'm telling you, they are a dynamic duo. They are super scary to watch. If I ever had to play against both of them in a ranked game, I'd surely be running for the hills.
Not fun sometimes, those double duelists. If they are on point, it can be quite strong. And it's kind of interesting to see here. I don't believe they've locked that in just yet. Might be the double duelist set up there with that Raze and that Jet. Could even maybe swap it over to the Reyna, perhaps, instead of the Raze. Maybe try to throw out that Cat flash, but nope, gonna go for that raise instead. And interestingly, you see here from the Bulldogs, they are not gonna go for that double duelist. Instead, gonna opt in for more information gathering with that Sova. But a lot of strong character picks that have really defined a meta for now. Sky, Killjoy, those two are just and Astra all over the place and in a lot of maps.
Yeah, I think at this point in Valorant's lifespan, we are looking for agents, I should say, to really knock out the meta in terms of, because now we pretty much know what all the good agents are capable of. You know, you'll never really see Breach at this level. You typically don't see Brim, you know, depending on the map a lot of the time. I think we're waiting on, you know, characters that are super dominant. Luckily, a large amount of the cast is still viable. IMO.
Yeah,
like
viable.
the only ones you won't see are like Yoru or Brimstone, just kind of the weaker roles in terms of characters that are a lot more limited. Like, why play Brim when you can play Astra, who has 5 smokes to really throw up instead of just, you know, your traditional 3? So it's interesting.
What I'm seeing there, they're dropping a bunch of shorties there over at that A main.
It's the ritual.
It's the ritual, huh? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, why get a shorty when I got a classic right click? But that did just get nerfed. That nerf did just go through. And might see a little less of that classic nonsense. You already see the dog is gonna get committed here on A main. Gonna find out too. Gonna force him to back up, and it's gonna be interesting to see what Bulldog's looking for. Looking for a mid split potentially, but all gonna group up there. Trying to find any sort of advantage in information. Gonna use that Sova dart to really understand as the headshots already coming in here for Demiurge. They get traded out though. Now you've lost that Astra util. This could be hard if they try to push a site all at once. You don't have the well to keep them at bay. You don't have the smokes either.
That is going to be a pretty impressive pick, though. I believe that's Astra going down on both sides as well. So neither team really has smokes to assist them here. And for attacking side players, it's looking bad. But we do see Justin patrolling here, managing to just hide. Does get the right click on Shed, though. Greedy going to be taking out Semi with that shorty right there. And Penumbras is going to be taking out Greedy right there. They are on the site 2v3. This is looking mighty scary right now. I like the blast pack before set of hell. Eve just getting caught running out there. Justin going to be picking off Penumbras, and that is going to be your first round of this series, going to NJCU. Yeah,
they are going to get that spike down, which is kind of... Sometimes, if the round doesn't go your way exactly what you want, the most you want in that round, so are going to get some little extra cash, but really nice job there. The rotations come in for that retake. It's very quick. They have to get that spike planted down. The nade comes in, keeps them low, and then it's just a good cleanup from there to good 3-man split onto that site. And interesting to see how we're gonna see this approach here. Just looks like 5 classics so far. A full save gonna come in here, but gonna be loading up on those specters, and potentially, if none of them go down, gonna keep those in the next round and look for potentially try to win that bonus round. Although it can be difficult sometimes against those rifles.
I mean, why not? You know, it is the standard. You know, you're down 1-0 currently. You don't want your econ to spill any more out of your favor. And I'm liking these 4-ups. You know, just very classic cookie cutter Valorant gameplay right here. We are seeing Demi kind of trapped in the corner right here. The raise nade is going to bust them up a little bit there, leaving for Varv to really get in there. And again, that's Astra util down. You don't really have that counterplay in terms of smokes. Your Sentinel also going down there at Penumbras. This is going to be hard, I feel like, for NJCU to retake right here. You already see the Marshall and Greedy's hands right here. Greedy, if there's one thing you should know about Greedy Worst, is that this individual is a particular savant with snipers. I don't know how. They just always seem to want to force op, whether they're on attack or defense. They are a monster when given a scope on their weapon.
That Jet special really is. We're going to see this retake come in. The Marshall might be a little hard to retake here. Going to use that nade to try and clear that back site. Not going to get any kills there, but is going to get a little bit them low as the Marshall allows the body shot to come through. Now it's just time to clear these corners. The Spectre in the backside from Penumbra. It's going to be the 1v1. He takes the kill there. Takes out seriously and leads to the round win on the eco. The full eco, by the way, just great utility usage. Leads to a pick down mid, and they use that to overwhelm that B site and just ultra out from there.
That's tough. You know, NJCU, a team usually that closes out their pistol rounds. It usually doesn't really swing one way or the other. If they lose both rounds. If they win both rounds typically. But now we're seeing, you know, the might, I'd say, of both of these teams coming out. There's a reason why both of these teams are 2 and 3 right now in their league respectively, looking so good. But that is going to be a little bit of econ being disrupted, especially after that early force up. Looks like they're nudging towards A just slightly, at least with the flash right there. It's going to be tough. I feel like their best bet for NJCU, they only have the classics in hand. You've got Greedy on that Bucky right there, too, positioned outside this smoke. You really don't want to throw this if you're Bryant at this point. You know, you have a pretty good opening now, only bleeding 1 round so far, but oh boy.
Are we looking for something here? Bucky in the smoke, it will fade. Doesn't know there's
Oh,
someone in Gelato.
Oh,
Unaware
no.
of the sky here in Gelato. Does not realize they are going to get flanked here. This could result in 1, though, if they swing without being aware of the potential here as Greedy just sits there in wait. We don't know. I don't believe this guy has seen it just yet. Smoke is going to get the star down, but no, Semi is aware, is completely cognizant of the fact that Greedy was looking for something quite greedy, in fact, as now it's going to be potentially just a slow walk up mid, try to retake, cut some picks. I don't believe you have any hopes in this round, as even your flashes from Sky, your ability to entry that site as effectively as possible is now gone. It's going to be seriously, though, taking out their opposite, trying to get some amount of economic damage and value done. I don't know if you go for this retake or you just save that Vandal, but looks like they might.
And through the Vandal to Demi, too. I think seriously feels confident enough in the classic game. I think they know that at least they're going to be able to retake primarily from Garden. You do have that 1 gun, so if there is a save here that needs to happen, it'll happen. But Semi going to take out seriously, patrolling Heaven right here. Is Demiurge going to save the gun? Going to take out Penumbras and E for their troubles, but that's all she wrote, unfortunately. Pretty good for just having one good gun in your arsenal, right?
And that gun was immediately taken off the field, right? I mean, you have an unfortunate play there in A main. You don't see the Gelato come through because you are hiding in that smoke and that star from Astra. And I mean, it's kind of interesting. You see here, we saw from the Bulldogs that they kind of set up on the eco round to set up a play around the utility, right? Astra suck into drone, into nade. Instead, it kind of seems like they aren't focused as much about the utility and more about that gunplay here for the Gothic Knights. Might be another A main play.
All right, we do see big sticks out on both sides right now as Maya's just kind of waiting here. And Semi's actually going to get the pick off on Greedy. Seriously going to take out Semi right there. Eve going to be taking out Seriously. Looks like it's a kind of open season for A right here. You still got smokes. You still got that Sentinel. But A is pretty busted up right now. I feel like it's a pretty wide open entrance right here for Bryant to get in. Maya going to be picking off Barv, actually. Bot going to be caught by Penumbras for their troubles. Oh, but they don't, just rushes through the smoke and doesn't see Justin. Now 2v2.
Seekers.
This is looking, I was going to say, yeah, those Seekers, it looks a lot better now. That was potentially a really bad situation right there. They know there's someone
2v1 here. Under hell. There's not much to do. Now it's a 1v1 here. Just the A main player of Penumbras versus Justin. Already, Penumbras has hit a clutch in that 2nd round. Could potentially have one more Shock Dart, is looking for it. Shock Dart comes out, no, he just finds the headshot. Doesn't even need that Shock Dart to connect. All he needs is the lineup on the rifle, and that's 3 rounds up now. This is looking a little bit worrisome, but of course, a lot left to play in this half.
These rounds have been so volatile, though, right? They haven't been, like, complete blowouts on either side, truthfully. Like, there's always only, like, 1 or 2 survivors on either team afterwards. The Econ, though, looking a bit busted up for NJCU as, you know, Bryant continues their tirade and attack. Penumbra is looking like the X-Factor player out here, honestly, right now for them. He's just been so accurate in terms of his headshots. His post-plant management has been great. That was a super clutch play right there. So NJCU definitely going to have to disrupt that momentum just a little bit right here. And we see Greedy kind of patrolling with this Marshall right here again. And it seems like another slow push is positioned towards A. There's actually no one guarding A right now. So it's pretty much open season for Bryant to kind of flood right into the site as skirmishes are breaking out currently on the catwalk.
Oh, and you have 2 picks going over right after those Seekers are used. Eve does take out Greedy. Could be a look onto the site here. You're going to try to lock it down. The Shock Dart's going to be used to try and push Justin off of this angle, but you're not going to find it. The flash is good, and headshot to the wall doesn't find the kill, but does find quite a bit of damage now. That Sova so incredibly low, but they have to watch out for this lockdown to start. Do you even have enough time after to take this retake how you would like it? Still no gun here, no rifle here on Demiurge. Might be able to pick one up from A main, but does look quite dire. The nade even gonna stall for more time. You got a crossfire, but you're gonna end up using that. The rocket doesn't go to the back, doesn't find the kill, but there's still one in hell they have to worry about. Will they watch the angle? Looks like they are looking straight at it. But they found 2 Eve! This could be deadly, but they don't understand. that the defuse was coming through. They weren't aware of it, and now even after, gonna find the classic left click is all they need to pick up that kill in a nice second round. Gonna be coming out for the Gothic Knights, and well played from them to get a round win again on a less than savory economic situation.
It was looking mighty tense there, honestly. Eve did literally, like, the stalling was perfect, perfectly placed lockdown for time. I love that grenade being shot towards Garden to even stall out even further, but it just didn't pan out. Eve did all the hard work. They solved the whole math problem. They used the correct formula, but instead of circling C, they decided to circle B instead. And that's just so heartbreaking, especially when they're going up. However, a little bit of swing momentum at least. I believe NJCU really needed that round right there. And again, only one person surviving in that round, so it's looking tough. Seriously gonna be picking off Shed right here though, mid. Looks like they're kind of trapped mid now, honestly, with Seriously Serial kind of closing in on them a little bit. Only got a lone Killjoy trapped in Pizza right now. Oh, yeah,
how did that happen?
I have no idea. I have no clue how that gunfight went on for as long as it did, but Greedy on the op right at home, and we're bringing it to 3-3 as we go into this
we caught our raise there in mid, just without a gun out.
Just chilling
through. Just chilling out. Ends up winning the duel anyways, but
slipping.
Precarious situation to say the least. And we've already seen, like you said, Greedy, kind of a savant on those snipers, already has it in their hands. Didn't have really the economic ability before to get this up and running, but now they have some breathing room. It's tied up 3-3, and they are able to use the money now in a like, I mean, that jet with the op is just so strong and
so good.
It's something that you kind of miss here for the Bulldogs comp, right? It's like we have a raise, which is good for denying areas, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you just got them right off spawn. But again, it's like Jet with that sniper can just get a shot in and leave. Doesn't there, but does have the opportunity to. But the raise doesn't.
NJCU getting very aggressive on their defense right now, which is kind of an oxymoron. I feel like you typically want to play back. You've already got your main duelist down. You know, one member of the dynamic duo already vanquished. You kind of don't want to, I feel like, push up that much space. You know, and they are having quite an even spread right here as we see positioning towards A just a little bit. Justin gonna get some intel right there with that bird. This is crucial right here. This is they have their opening pick on what seems to be one of their most, you know, dominant fraggers on the team. And we're just kind of waiting for the chaos to unfold. Seriously Serial, though, going to be taking up numbers. That is huge. That is their best player off the board right there.
Right now, it's up to Seriously. Doesn't realize, perhaps, that corner is compromised. The Sky is in wait. Might see clear the angle. Might see the pre-fire. No, instead, they're going to get peeked. And they're going to win that duel. Seriously has been on fire so far. He's going to have to spam down this wall. Maybe would have been a little bit dangerous as now. Here it comes, the ultimate now. 4 Bulldogs is raised. The rocket doesn't find anything. Maybe a little bit premature there as the defender Killjoy is going to push them off this site. You know they are not going to be in hell. They're not going to be in heaven. Might be in Gelato. As that's where they're looking towards right now is my Desu. Trying something. Still going to clear just in case because I see that one player was detained. I think it was a close player. They are just going to have to now hold this. Wait for the turret to do some work. As now it's going to be Seriously instead doing a work as their own.
Ooh.
But that op that was picked up. That was taken away from Greedy has now resulted in their teammate's death as a hard bleed, and now the sucker's gonna come in. There's nothing you can do there if you're Killjoy. Just, well, sit and wait for your demise to come, and there it does. It's another round on the board here for the Bulldogs. A great post-plant situation for them, even with that Killjoy, maybe making them uncomfortable.
And I think we're starting to see the whole point, I believe, of this team Bryant is composed together, at least with the agent composition. I mean, you have so much post-plant util there. You know, you got so much stuff that's timing-based. It could be arguable that each and every member of Bryant right now has some form of slowing, basically, pushes. You know, you've got Sky's Dog, you've got Ray's Nade, you've got the gravitational pulls from Astra, you have the shock darts and post-plant ults, Hunter's Fury. You've also got that Killjoy lockdown along with those nades. Greedy gonna be weaving the drone actually right there. I believe that's gonna lead to Bryant maybe thinking they have a little more vision, but instead they're posted up towards B. You see them just kind of pushed up ever so slightly towards main, maybe trying to make that play there as you see the rotates. It's looking slow right here. I'm a big fan. I'm very appreciative of Demiurge using the man, the myth, the legend, Stiff Leonard right there. The stiff dragon himself.
The stiff dragon. Man, it's always been so weird seeing those dragon skins. It's a little bit of it takes a little bit more of your screen than you would want sometimes.
Yeah.
The tactical lockdown is gonna get used to. Will they get out of it? Can they get out of it in time? Just 2 seconds. Finally gonna get out of it, but now completely flushed off of that site, but there's no one to follow up. It seems like it's a bait killjoy ult, and Greedy is gonna have that shotgun in mid as Midas who's gonna do their job, locking down that site for now, getting the trades as Demiurge also gonna secure this as well. It's just gonna be this aim in player. They can stick it. Yep, that exactly they are. Aoife's gonna get traded, and they might just pick that up right. Exactly what you would want going into 4-4. Interestingly, a very, very close and seemingly back and forth affair so far. And this is what you're gonna be looking for if you are looking forward to, if you are a fan of NJCU, seeing them fight back.
It's true. I mean, it's been relatively even on both sides, like you said. Like, no one side has really found like the snowball they wanted. You know, you got those 2 rounds on defense for NJCU for 3 and 4, but other than that, like, there hasn't been anything too topsy-turvy happening. You know, just kind of strong retakes, little swing plays, really risky plays too, like Greedy's positioning, getting that gun right there for themselves, and as well as my being able to hold the forefront right there. We do see Greedy. Oh my gosh, seriously, gonna be bailing out Greedy right there, actually, as they take 2 frags right there, one on Varv, and one of their Astra, for Bryant's Astra. So it's gonna be pretty big, you know, it's gonna swing right here. We still have some good entry for Bryant, but we don't really have an opening for them anymore. They've got their picks. We see this kind of war mid unfolding. No one wants to overcommit too much, and Mai is going to be picking off Beef right there. Penumbra's looking mighty weak. Mai going to pick them off as well. And now we've got a lone Raze left against 5 hungry knights.
And no nade.
And so no nade.
It's a Raze left at the right. They think they're over there on that wall. They aren't. Oh, Shed!
Whoa!
Shed with some nasty flicks, some fast firing right there, some quick 6 shooting does result in some economic damage occurring.
That's a demon.
Not what you would have wanted. They committed over onto the breakable there, and it just, they weren't there. They were just hiding in the corner, unawares. And I mean, now what do you have for this player? You have Maidesu there on, like, okay, now they do get the Phantom. I thought they were on lower, but it was after armor.
Kind of a little bit of an oopsie right there, honestly, by NJCU. Not really. You don't really want to drop 3 kills to a revolver or a Deeg. You know, that's kind of something you just don't want to put yourself through in terms of wanting to keep your snowball going. Like, that round was looking beautiful. They were up 5. You know, managing to get the round clutch right there, but still, you bleed that much. It's not going to look good for Econ overall, and it's just going to keep making this game back and forth. You need a solid economic lead to really start making your breakaway right here. And again, we see a little bit of a mid-war unfurling right here. Seriously, not going to want to press their luck against those two bulldogs sitting mid right there.
Gonna be watching here. Does this end up with a split? Could see those 3 players that are huddled mid right now execute onto Cat, into Tree, but not showing those intentions so far. Just opting into a slow play around A main. Even the Sova's gonna be backing up here. The flashes are all centered on A main. Can you weather the storm here? If you are NJCU, it's going to be a lot of util coming your way extremely quickly. Demiurge is even rotated over. Usually is their mid player, but they've swapped that out with the Raze. Gotta be aware of the look as well. Obviously, Astra can use that util from quite a far away. Sova ult going to be used to cover as well, and just everyone has to run away. You just kind of have to give. Demiurge might be in a compromising position, though. They do not peek off the flash. Not enough confidence for them to imagine they can push off that. Greedy is going to get caught out here. Is have the knife out. Does have the lurker coming up from mid, but they're not pushing into the tree just yet. They stay alive. Is going to be using the rocket. The rocket going to come in here. Going to find one, but the lurk has finally found its value. Shed is onto heaven. In hell, if you will. Taking player after player. Now the sucker's going to get used, and they trade out one, but the Guardian's going to find the kill eventually. And a nice clean play round. And again, that post plant for the Bulldogs is so strong. They know exactly what to do at every point.
It's also their patience, I feel like. Like, they waited until they were 100% ready and set up towards A to let those Seekers, go to site. You had Hunter's Fury also covering that approach really, really nicely, pretty much taking out all the entry for those choke points in both Heaven and Garden. Really just no way of retaking early enough to stop a full-fledged push. And once Bryant got all their positioning set up, it was pretty much just an indomitable defense. We do see Mai creeping up right here with the Sheriff, though. That nice Arcane Sheriff. I'll admit, I put myself a little deeper in credit card debt to buy that Sheriff right there, but it's going down. Eve going to be picking up 2 right there on Mai, and seriously.
That's the B-side.
It's a big opening. Yeah, that's B-side fully. They're just going to tear right onto site right there. You do see the bomb retrieval coming up, but they're not pushing. They actually have KJ down, but they're not pushing onto the site just yet. They're just backing off. They're not committing that. What?
If they had the bomb with them, I mean, even you can just fast play that.
Yeah.
Push up, secure the area for when your bomb does arrive. Now you've just given time here for the Knights to kind of surge back into mid. Set up for a retake with some less costly weapons, perhaps, but still, a bullet to the head does just as well as any gun. You are going to find the turret, get some value here, knowing that someone is behind. The Hawk is going to go through that smoke. The Sova is just going to play slow to it. They're going to need to heal Demiurge a little bit.
Oh
11
God.
HP? That nade was so
Demi's
high in
life.
the air, and I mean, do you even have the resources available to go for this? You're just completely on the outside. The KJ is pushing up and just gonna take out Greedy there. The Marshal, that one-shot kill potential is just gone. The Sheriff, though, gonna have to be their only hope. The flash is massive, and they find 2 frags off of it.
Wow, okay. Not losing one just yet. You see that smoke coming right back up there. They're going to have to see if they can retake off of this right here. It looks like they're slowly poising to push up right here. We do see that the actual Seekers come out from Justin right there, but unfortunately, Varv and Shed not going to want to let that happen for them. And that was all looking mighty promising for NJCU at certain moments, but Eve, just such a monster, getting those entry frags as a Killjoy even, too. Usually you don't see your Killjoy putting in the work for your entry, but lo and behold, Eve was just able to find those picks that mattered. Again, like you mentioned, the post-plant util was just right. You saw that Molly plus that smoke combined. A little bit of mind games also coming out from Bryant, too. They had the full site opening, but they waited a lot longer to keep that push going. And it looks like we are going to be seeing a little bit of a timeout occurring right here, but that was so incredible by Bryant. They waited, kept Greedy on A because they were like, maybe they rotated. They kind of waited a while, even though the site was wide open. And then after that, laid down the post-plant util, sent the dog in to scope out the site. And as soon as they got on there, they triggered all the post-plant util. And allowed kind of like a staggered bit of pressure right there. Like, you forced NJCU to rotate from their position. You forced them to poise up and get ready to retake the site. But you already had all your util down. You did it slowly enough to where you kind of just kept them scratching the back of their heads. It's super impressive by Bryant.
Looking at this last round before the swap, use all your money, use all your ults, all your abilities you can. You only have this defensive KJ ult. And attackers here, Bulldogs, I mean, they have KJ ult, Rocket there. Also, in fact, just 2 points away from that astral wall. This is setting up for a very strong push. KJ ult already with that. You've got to push them off any defensive positions, force them back into garden, force them back further into heaven. Use that to take control of the site. Rocket needs to as well. Flush out any stubborn positions that might be occurring. But already looking towards that. Maybe trying to get some info gathered there from Soda on B side, but for now, looks like the execution plan should be going toward that A side with the advantage in ultimates they have and really in momentum right now. It doesn't feel, it felt like there's a lot more momentum on Bryant's side, but it's still only 6-5. It's been very close despite some situations that have occurred.
They're so tempoed with it too, right? Like, they haven't ever let the momentum overwhelm them. They are seemingly picking their opening points the way they want to. They want to dictate the entire rounds at their pace, really. They have not been like, okay, we got our picks, go, 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 go. They've been waiting. They've been disrupting positioning. and they've been, kind of stacking up resources themselves, almost aiding in more consistent round takes, I'd say. It seems like NJCU are the ones kind of scrambling to get everything back in their favor. We do see seriously being forced out of wine right there. I think they definitely know where they are, and yup, seriously going to be taking out Shedwood for their troubles before Eve's Molly eventually takes them down. And that is an ult down. That's kind of huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's one alt deficit that you've just made up for, taking it completely off the table. Seriously, doing an amazing job in Gelato right before they die. But again, we've seen this time and time again for Bulldogs. They get a pick, they aren't over-aggressive with it. They take it in a measured sense. They go, okay, now we can push our map advantage elsewhere. You're having rotations. Demi are just rotating off to A. They don't realize that this is going to be a B execute, perhaps.
Oh,
They're just relying on the KJ utility to keep them down. You've got 3 over here on A, unawares that this is going to be a B site push here. You're going to even see the Killjoy ult. You can't even contest this here for New Jersey's Killjoy. Like, you cannot step up for this. You just got to wait for your rotations. But you got to be fast now. You're using your Killjoy ult, you got to use this time to push up.
You have 10 seconds left. They need to get that spike down as well. Luckily, we do have the post-plant util knocking the spike out of their hand. Do they have enough time to plant? They do not. I don't think they got on the site quick enough. And that's actually going to be a round going to NJCU on that one because of the timeout. You know what? A good way to beat players who just like to play it super slow is just making your coverage. And I feel like they got a little too careful there. I feel like Bryant got a little too careful. That clock dwindled way too much. That molly from Mai was incredible. The positioning on, I believe it was Sidewalk, taking out that spike, forcing Eve to pick it up and rush to plant the spike, and it wasn't going to be enough time. I don't know what happened right there in the execute. They had a full site for themselves. They really didn't need the KJ ult, but they wanted it for insurance. And the crazy thing about insurance is that sometimes you're paying a lot for it, but sometimes you just don't get into an accident, and then you don't have to use it. So we're going to the half 6-6. Pretty good, honestly. Pretty good. Good half. As good of a half as you can get.
Yeah, as close to the half as you can get. But you see the shorty once again. They really do love that on that pistol round. Just getting that shorty and dropping that classic behind the well. Is gonna pull them in again. Another great usage. You're gonna have to force out that dash, I believe. Another great usage of that well plus nade combo. And back to that point about Bryant, like it just seems like, yes, they're careful and that can be a good thing, but there is something that's overly cautious as that time dwindles before your very eyes, and you commit so much just to push them off point and then do nothing with it. You don't push on the point, you don't use more utility to flush out certain positions, you just kind of let the ult go and go, once it's over, then we'll push. That's a really big waste of that Killjoy ult. It just puts pressure on the enemy to run away, and you let them run away. You don't pressure them out while they're running away. It's kind of interesting, but should be an A execute perhaps here. As both Hawks are going to go into Garden. Just touching each other.
Yeah. The aviary.
The aviary.
We are seeing the push on right here. Semi going to be taking out Sears and Greedy. That's huge. Both duelists are down, but Demi going to be picking off Semi. And Mai going to be taking out Barb. Penumbras getting that gun down on Mai. Now it's a lone Demi-Urge versus a really strong force right there. Yeah, everyone.
Everyone is there. They're shooting you.
Mai versus the world. But unfortunately, the world is going to win that one, and we're going to be seeing Bryant going up 7-6. Really good retake right there. Again, it's just how the execute goes. One pick can really mean everything, and once you lose your tool duelists, I mean, those are your best fraggers on your team, allegedly. Those are the people that are going to be pulling the most kills for you. In a traditional sense, I mean, you've got some exceptions with, like, players at, like, the top level, like Scream, who are just monsters with a mouse and a keyboard, but that's just how it goes sometimes. And that's huge, getting that pistol round off right there. I'm wondering if we're going to see it go even with some unfortunate picks, or if we're just going to see the snowball start to build up for Bryant. It looks like this has been a full-on tug of war between both of these teams thus far.
Yeah, and currently just barely in the lead is the Bulldogs here. They're going to be pushing straight in the market here. Nice anti-flash there from Demi-Urge with the gun. Difference might just be too strong, but Semi is going to get taken out. The classic, though, the left-click damage, not going to be enough to take out Sova. Penumbras with that Marshall. There's so much work, and Varv is even going to find Greedy on the flank. It's only Demi-Urge here. No gun. Can't find it. Can't scramble. Pick it up. Going to be using those stars, blocking them up. Finally finds the Spectre. But this is dangerous. 36 HP in a dream right now, and they still have quite a bit of utility left.
Yeah, you ever see Quiet Place?
I have a
Oh,
long
no.
time ago. As they check the angle, you know. But yes, I have seen Quiet Place.
Basically, kind of that scenario right there for Demi. You know, kind of just having to run for their life. You know, you got the giant, ugly monster.
Yeah.
Kind of reminiscent of
man.
Stranger Things. Yeah, the alien coming out, finding you. You know, you did. Demi really didn't have anything in the tank, barely scrambling out with that gun, and I feel like should have maybe just ran to save it, but I don't know. It's kind of dire straits at that point. You're just trying to claw back and make something happen. That was their save right there, and I swear, Greedy does not know what like a real rifle is. Greedy know, you're like, hey Greedy, what's a sniper? Oh, that's easy, it's got a scope on it. Hey Greedy, what's a shotgun? Oh, it's this. Give him a Vandal, and he's like, well, what am I supposed to do with this?
I mean, it's been a struggle here so far. For Greedy to get on that board, to get things moving. Seems that at every turn they are getting shut down, but you gotta, when you're playing a double duelist comp like this, especially relying on your jet for so much of it, of the first potential.
What on? Wow.
It's gonna find that Spectre. Didn't really need to do that. Was
No,
kind of safe as gonna get taken out as now this could be the push onto the site though. Only one person left. They are gonna be sitting right behind.
Oh
right
my
behind
gosh,
generator.
dead!
And the generator gives them enough power to keep on going. It's just my Desu left in a 1v2. Has to watch both Heaven and Gen right now. Might even rotate down to Hell. Both opposites are keeping them in check. The turret even gonna get put in there. Is that a 4K for Shed?
Oh my gosh.
A power position for them secures the round, and now it's 6-9. 9-6 here. And this is the first real big lead we've had in this game. And this is only gonna get worse here. The money situation is not great here for New Jersey. They have to pull out an eco win, but I haven't seen that util usage to make a difference on the eco round so far that I've seen like from Bryant's with that gravity well into nade. I'm worried.
I'm worried too. It slipped right out of their hands. You just saw Shed getting several separate 1v1s and knowing being able to trade right there on NJCU right there. That was a full 4v2 right there, and Shed with that full comeback, just kind of taking separate 1v1s over and over and over again, managing to get it. Penumbra's, I believe, going to be cheesing Greedy with that little through-the-wall Odin strat right there. And this is where it gets a little brutal. You know, again, Greedy going down, not really finding momentum here to start it off with. Justin also going to go down to a pretty brazen approach right there by Semi, and this is just getting worse and worse for NJCU. I think you're right. The worry, I think, is totally justified as we see the snowball starting to form right here for Bryant as they just keep it going. The econ has never just been hitting just right for NJCU. I feel like they're constantly, you know, trying to get these little guns out right here, trying to take their economic licks as they come. You do see a little bit less focus on B right now, but you do still, Eve is still posted up with that KJ util, and you can't really break in the sidewalk effectively there.
Flashed, pulled, shot in the back. Nothing there for my
The
Desu.
wombo combo.
The wombo combo, really. And can they win this with a stinger? It's not the stinger of old, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh,
That is a nerf stinger, as we do see seriously here with that sheriff. Can be quite deadly in that medium range, but two people are gonna be staring at them for mid, and that's all she wrote. And whew, 10-6 now. They are out and away here. They've kind of pushed past that run round into trading between both teams. They've kind of secured themselves an economic foothold. Interestingly, 4 Phantoms coming out here. I don't think I've seen... I mean, Phantom is by far the most popular weapon, but I don't know. I feel like I've always seen at least 2 Vandals.
I just watched, I've been really into this channel lately. I've just watched a Score eSports video on, like, the Phantom or the Vandal.
yeah.
Which one is better? I'm sure a lot of Valorant players have seen it at this point. And I thought Halloween was over, but we're still seeing these Phantoms out here, these ghosts, these ghouls. I love also how we have 2 guns that literally mean the same thing. We have Phantom and Ghost. Kind of
man. Sometimes you're a Riot developer and you're just really into Halloween season. It's your favorite time of year. And what do you need? You need a name of a silenced gun. What do you think of?
That's true. Think of a Ghost.
Phantom and Ghost.
Yes.
Tom Clancy's suing, but that's fine. He's enough money already.
We are seeing the positioning right here for NJCU again here. By the way, if you haven't bought the Battle Pass, there's such good Halloween themed stuff in there. But speaking of Halloween, we got lots of crazy stuff going on right here. got Greedy finally finding an entry right here. I feel like this whole game has been the suppression of Greedy this entire time, as they really haven't been able to keep tempo, and that's kind of the two duelist gambit you have right here. You do see the Cosmic Divide going up. Nurse Justin going to be patching up Demiurge a little bit right there as the dog comes in for this retake. And we saw how good of a job Bryant was doing on attack, but now finally NJCU seeming to come alive. You do have an op, coming around there. Penumbras with this Odin, though, going to be taking out Demi. Going to see Eve take out Justin. The retake is just starting right now. We do have lots of post-plant, though. We still also have that Raze ult on deck. So it might be party time pretty soon, but we are seeing the strong push right here. Mai going to be taken out. Actually, no threat right there. Penumbra with this Odin, though, looking like the heavy weapons guy from TF2. Just mowing him down. And that actually will be the round going to Bryant. The whole post-plant plan totally got thwarted right there. That was nuts.
It feels weird, right? They kind of split off into two groups. You have the two with that wall playing in hell right there. And those two just get pushed and traded out. And no one from A main. You have 3 people sitting there. No one can trade them. There's just no line of sight on it. They can't help them out. You just leave your teammates out to dry, and then you have that Odin able to completely shut down that choke, and you're not even able to use that Raze ult to try and deny the plant. Deny the defuse. It almost feels like you just clump up, but don't ever interact between those two clumps, and it leads to your doom. 11-6, it's dire straits. You need something here if you're New Jersey. You haven't gotten a single round since that halftime swap. As they are just going to decide Greedy. Try to go kill.
Knives out. Ready to go. Yeah, Greedy's going hunting right now, and gonna be finding Semi for their troubles right there. That's a pretty big pick. It's gonna be healing wiped off the board right there. So any licks taken by either squad are gonna be have to be committed to. Demi still posted up mid right here. We've always had one member of NJCU lurking, and sometimes it pans out, and most of the time though, of this half, we really haven't been seeing it pan out too much. Do see the smoke up, and we do see Eve position backside on B, so that util is going to be coming out. But is that the Raze nade actually destroying the mollies there? I think the mollies have been cleared out excellently by that Raze nade right there. And yep, only going to be seeing one get popped right there. Greedy going to be missing those shots. And unfortunately, not going to get anything for the troubles right there, as Eve is just going off right now. The molly killed 2?
The molly on side will kill 2 people.
I don't get that. I don't understand how that happens, especially because there was only one.
Maybe
there's only one molly.
Alarm bot into everywhere?
I got no idea. No clue. Some sort of coordination, some sort of witchcraft coming out. Now we're seeing
some sort of satanic ritual before the match.
Now we're seeing 12-6. This is we were waiting for the tension, the suspension, the build up to which team was gonna get that, aha moment, that snowball. And man, oh man, it seems like Bryant has just figured out the secret, the Krabby Patty secret formula here. Because they're 12-6 is huge. Like they did amazingly on their first half. Attacking on Ascent is no easy feat, especially with a team with only one duelist. But I think the 2 duelist gambit has kind of been failing NJCU here. It just doesn't seem like Greedy has been able to get their entry frags right here. Typically, we see such good synergy between Seriously Serial and Greedy, but this time there's a missing link. There's no connection. Maybe Greedy woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe he eats Frosted Flakes for breakfast. Who knows? No clue.
Yeah, I wondered about that Raze. Like, it can find a lot of value on defense, obviously, but on that attack, it can be a little hard to deny certain areas with it, find the certain angles. Because mid is going to get watched over here by that side, supposed to back up, but potentially you think about maybe a Reyna there. Even on defense, it has, especially on defense, it has a lot of potential. You can flash yourself out cat, peek mid, gather a lot of information that way, and also take duels. But so far, we just haven't seen these duelists do with their namesake. It's been hard for Greedy to find anything here, but potentially this could be it. They forced a lot of rotations over to B, but they're quickly going to get recalled back. As Valorant is going to be the first one to find a kill here. Both duelists are trying to push in there.
Oh boy.
Finally, Greedy's on site, but gets taken out, and now it's a 3v4 as Justin finds a trade to a wall, it would seem. Very nice job there as Demiurge also going to make this a bit of more close affair. There's no one on this B site. That was a very convincing job from both Seriously and Greedy there to just kind of lose their life on site, but it got the effect they wanted, I guess.
Yeah, it worked out. They did what they had to do. The whole job of a duelist, as my good friend Kale Dasso has told me, is just, you know, your job is to die. Your job is to get that info or maybe get 1 or 2 entry frags on the way in there. Just make plays happen, essentially. You know, establish the opening for the rest of your team to really get in there. And
this is rough.
This is mission accomplished for NJCU at this point. You've got the Cosmic Divide, you've got the lockdown up.
They found it. They found the lockdown.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
There's
this could be big.
That
Cosmic wall
lockdown
going down. It's so scary. Oh my god.
One more round? One more round. I mean,
by a thread. That was wild. What happened there, Worst? What
I mean
occurred?
that lockdown. I mean that lockdown got put down right there, under hut, and the wall just barely didn't cover it. If that lockdown was behind the wall, no shot they win that round. They are forced to push out. They are forced to expend resources to get out of that site, push up, and try to take out that lockdown. They find it under hut, takes out the kill with the sheriff, and then, I don't know, unaware that the flank was occurring.
I'm just thinking, what came first, the wall or the lockdown? Because there was
The wall
some
came
order
down way longer.
So that was a misplay, I'd say,
Yes.
by EVE a little bit. That lockdown could have been placed safely behind that wall. You know, maybe you wouldn't have encompassed all of backside, but you would have been able to at least overtake shallow site without too much risk, at least pressing the team all the way back. But making quick work of it, you know, being able to see it, and that's kind of what it's all about right there. This could be the start of something beautiful right here for NJCU if they manage to hold on to these guns. Seriously going to be taking out Varv right there, and this is big. This is a really, really big pivot point right here for NJCU. We are going to see them funnel in, but Greedy going to kind of be caught lacking mid a little bit.
We're going to swarm this site here. Shed is gone. You kind of see that the duelists doing the job they set out to do. They got the entry frags that you required. Greedy finally finding the first kill of the round. It's going to open up the team. Just the power of Jet, your ability to get in, get a frag, and get out. It's just unmatched in this entire game.
I'm
worried. It looks like it's going to be a save.
Justin realizing, I think, at that point, too, that they're not really committing on taking this site to the main way. We are seeing them sneak a little bit past A main right here. I don't think they know they're positioned around there, but I like Justin's idea to get out of there, at least get out of A main, just because last time there were 3 players positioned to A main. That was it. And I think there's going to be some exit frags picked up here. I don't think NJCU is anticipating this right here, but seriously, and Justin actually managing to clean it up. A little bit of an economic bleed, but honestly not that bad from NJCU. This is still more than workable for them at this point.
You know, sometimes I have some issues dodging flashes in this game.
It's hard.
So many different sound effects, so it's hard to recognize which one is going to happen. But great anti-flash there. They look away, they get their senses back, they regain it just in time to trade it out. That could have been way worse, right?
Oh yeah, that
could have lost 3 there. You could have lost 3 there, and they could have kept both rifles.
Yeah, good awareness right there.
That would have been rough.
We are seeing NJCU again. You know, we got Greedy on the op, really waiting for them to kind of go wild with it. I feel like Greedy more so than any other member of NJCU right now, Greedy usually at the forefront too. It's seriously just racking up those kills. Just kind of been suppressed this game. You know, they've been lurking a lot. They've just been called out. There's just some sort of missing of a beat right there for Greedy today. But we are seeing the mid control right now from Seriously. Varv, I think, trying to get a peek mid. I have no clue what they're doing, dancing around in spawn right there, but we are seeing some positioning towards B. And man, seriously, Serial so deep right there. Going to be managing to get their pick, kind of retreating mid, but going to get picked up by Penumbras, not really watching their back right there on the rotate.
Interesting, because they... Oh, no, that's another shot! You got to dash out. That could have been really bad.
Oh, yeah.
But as I said, you get the kill onto the Astra there, because they aren't watching their back, and then in turn, you don't watch yours. They find the flash. They got the information that someone's on that site. They are going to get this detain, it looks like, as Greedy is so low right now. And the flags are just going the way of Bryant. The shock dart is all they need. A 4K for Penumbras. As that's kind of 13A right there. It kind of just... It feel like everything just kind of fell at once right there.
Penumbras is scary.
Yeah,
those are
going
good
wild.
shock darts. The lockdown being placed right there. Kind of nutty stuff. Yeah, Penumbras being the MVP overall for that entire game, and rightfully so. You know, used those shock darts excellently, used the ult to really assist their team to push on to points very easily, might I add. I feel like they were able to find their way on the site almost consistently. Kind of scary stuff right there. I feel like for NJCU for that game one, it just seemed like every single member of the team was getting shut down in some metric, albeit seriously, put a valiant effort to really get those entry flags, but Eve, Penumbra, Shed, all having really critical, pivotal moments during that game where they were just able to secure rounds.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they fight back on Bind. Of course, it is a best of 3 series. It's not over just yet. Even if Bryant take the first map, a little bit of a fight back there. If it ended 13-6, that's a demoralizing game. You get 2 rounds though, you have something to work towards here in Bind. I wonder if we're gonna see some change ups here. I think probably still gonna see the Rays. These teams seem very comfortable on it. I wonder if we might move over to the Viper over the Astra, something you do see on Bind. Because of it's so much more enclosed, you can get a lot of value out of that wall splitting, those sites splitting, very certain angles that you need to get rid of. It's going to be interesting what we kind of see, but I think Bryant, their post plants were impeccable though.
It was
It was so hard to push into. Utility usage didn't matter. They knew what they were doing.
feel like infiltrating a fortress.
Yeah.
Literally, they were just impenetrable every single time. Even when the util was not right for them. Their duelists were still getting defensive frags. Like that one round where Sled or Shed picked up that 4K, taking the separate 1v1s in that 4v2. Like how can you when you've done the hard part, you've gotten through every part of post plant util you need to muster through, but you still have that one obstruction right there. And again, it's worrisome for me because for each and every game this series, NJCU has chosen to defend first. They have chosen to be on defense first. And I think that says a lot about Bryant, how confident they are in their offense, because the defense was looking a little lacking as well. I feel like Bryant had very calculated pushes. There was only one round where they fumbled a little bit with that timeout, where they took a little too long to commit to a site. But how do you stop that offense? Like, how do you stop a slow offense that's super consistent, super good, with incredible post plant util? It's hard. It's looking like a very big question mark right now, in the area of NJCU right now.
I think I want to see if you're gonna keep running that Jet. Obviously, such a strong character. If you're gonna keep running that double duelist, use a little bit more perhaps to set up that Jet. Um, Maybe like throw some flashes their way when they go to peak, and you gotta just. I think a lot more utility combos have to come out. That we saw that from Bryant, but didn't really see that too much from NJCU, and
I
I
agree.
really need that.
Yeah, you have to set up your like. It felt like they weren't working with Greedy enough. I felt like we would see Greedy or Demi lurking mid. Greedy would get picked off, whether for lack of awareness or something else. Like, if that's not working, you have to work with your Jet player. Jet is, I think, bar none, probably the best duelist in the game right now. I'd say personally.
Mm.
You have other meta ones like Raze, who are traditionally picked on maps like Split or Bind, um, and even like maps like Ascent. But Jet is super good, and you need to be able to set up your Jet player to really get in and get those frags. It didn't, with the way Greedy played, like the forcing of ops and shotguns and stuff like that, and kind of acting lone wolf a lot of the time. It wasn't panning out. I feel like there needs to be a fundamental game plan adjustment right here for NJCU if they're going to be as consistent as Bryant has been, because Bryant seems to be just writing the textbook on how to close out good rounds offensively consistently.
Yeah, and it might be harder for Bryant to pull off their slow play on Bind. I feel like maybe because it can be a map where you get an advantage on the site. It's just you gotta push it. You gotta take that advantage. Rotations come in so fast. You don't have time. There's not enough places to slow play for you. Where Ascent, you can slow play, be main, mid, cat up to tree. You can go gelato, all that kind of area. You don't really have that on Bind. You kind of just gotta commit as soon as you get that advantage, which I haven't seen from Bryant yet. This could be really bad if they play too slow. They start missing those plants like they did that one round. You start putting pressure on yourself to finally do something because the time's not your friend on attack. So if you kind of you get advantages in very specific situations, and then you kind of like, okay, we're gonna use this advantage to try and play the map more. When you could have probably just pushed site, and I think that's something that Bryant needs to be more cognizant of.
For real. And I believe, yeah, Bind, I don't think we've seen too often yet from NJCU, if I recall correctly. You know, the maps have just been kind of all over the place this season for them, which shows their versatility quite nicely, I'd say. But we are gearing up for this second game right here, guys. I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us here at, I believe, the NECC. Yeah, NECC. We're here. I don't know why I forgot that. I've been doing it for like 4 weeks now, but sometimes we maybe I'm getting a little old. Who knows? But we're gearing up right here for this next game, and this is going to be a series for the ages. This is really going to determine the standings right here because that 2 and 3 slot is up for grabs right now for NJCU, you know, or likewise for Bryant. Like they have an opportunity not to overtake Montclair most likely, but to get that second seed. That's huge. Second and third seeds, like that's a huge difference in terms of how your playoff bracket is going to go potentially. So, you know, very curious to see who's going to be having the upper hand at the end of this all. If you guys have been enjoying the cast so far, you can drop me a follow on Twitter at Fan9S. I also stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Fan9S. And I make YouTube videos mostly about Smash Bros. I did recently upload a Valorant video where there's a lot of funny moments that happened for my low-level elo. But we are out here, so I appreciate all the support. And Worst, where can they find you if they're looking for more of you?
You can follow me on Twitter at worst_cast, where I don't post anything
Oh, no.
because, yeah, you know, I don't know. I kind of vibe in a lot of different spheres: Smash Twitter, League Twitter, Overwatch Twitter, Val Twitter, CS Twitter. Not really one place for me to go, so I kind of just vibe there.
Yeah.
I do talk about Smash sometimes there. I tweet about how much I love MKLeo. And
He's sick. He is
I
so
love
dope.
MKLeo. Favorite player. Been so for a very, 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 very long time.
He's a good favorite player to have too, because you're seeing him win a lot.
But
It's always a good day when you're an MKLeo fan.
So we do see here, we're gonna get some agent selections coming in for Haven, not Bind. I thought it's gonna be Haven, not Bind instead.
Oh yeah, we did hear Haven. I think Bind might have been the third map.
Might have been the third map, maybe.
Too sure, but either way, we are seeing the signature picks right here. This is a good map for NJCU. I've seen them succeed on this map. Commonly, we are going to be seeing Mai on that Cypher, no KJ this time around. Justin on that Tried and True Sky, Demiurge on the Astra, and we're seeing Seriously go to Reyna. So I'm very, very excited. I'm a big Seriously Serial fan.
Just kidding.
But also we're seeing here, more notably, we're seeing a Breach from Semi. We're seeing Shed on Killjoy. And who's that playing Jet? That looks like Eve, who was playing Killjoy. So we're seeing not only agent swaps, but fundamental role swaps right here for Bryant. So I'm curious. I'm a curious cat right here to see how this wacky, goofy team comp is gonna work out.
I mean, it's a lot of meta picks, and you just throw a Breach in there. It's a little confusing.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I mean, I've heard Breach is pretty good on Fracture. You know, finally the map for Breach players to really enjoy right here. But Haven, I mean, there are still a lot of narrow choke points, as there are in every map, to get into sight, and that flash does last a good amount of time. But you've already got a flasher, a dedicated flasher in Sky. You know, 2 flashes for 2 initiators. In fact, it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a fast play here, on to short. Can Greedy weather the storm? No. Gonna get taken out. Eve with that ghost overwhelms that shoddy. The shorty. As you're gonna see Justin here have to play behind thing, and again, another classic Bryant. They're gonna play this, catch out the Reyna perhaps, but no, seriously. He's gonna back up all the way to C. Hey guys, you're gonna pick A. Where do you want to go? C. This just seems to be their kind of style, right? They are gonna run into the Cypher here. Can they do anything? Nope, gonna get shut down. It's now just Justin looking for that kill onto the Breach. We can't find a bug now with 3. Looking for their 4th kill of the round. Are they aware of Seriously? Was the one they chased off Back A, and looks like Varv will find that 4K that they so desire.
Oh my god. Varv at the bottom last game, but coming alive already round 1. And, you know, kind of just a little bit of just getting outplayed right there. You know, Greedy fell. Picked a really, for lack of a better term, greedy angle, I feel like when you're holding short with a shorty, the angle that Greedy picked is more easily peekable from a longer distance, meaning you don't have to really commit to pushing that. You know, the corner was fully checked and Greedy was on the shorter side of it, meaning that Greedy was a lot more readily visible than before. So kind of let that pick kind of slip out of their fingers. And again, we're seeing this, what an aggressive defense right here. We're just seeing codename NJCU come in, all pushing through the back, leaving A side completely open right there for Bryant to pick. I don't know what is going on right now.
He just wants to see the game, man. Flashed up, smoked up, concussed. What can they really do? Set on all sides now. Gonna get aftershocked here as well. They get forced back into heaven, into nest. They're looking for an execute here. Demiurge is gonna team up with 2 others and trying to push in here. The flash is gonna go in first. Ooh, instantly he turns around. Fox is straight down into 2, and Justin is looking for another. Justin's looking for anything actually. 16 HP. Anti-flash is good. The right click not enough though. Just one more bullet connected on that right click. That was a kill, but strong play from Bryant so far, and they are not letting up the momentum from last time.
I feel that pain from that right click. That is a right click I have hit many a time. You know, the full classic just right click. You get the headshot, you hear the funny little headshot noise, and then you get killed by the same person you were shooting, and you're like, huh? What happened?
What happened?
I mean, it's also justice. I feel like, I mean, if you got good guns, you should, you know, that's just how it goes. You know, you got that classic is a menace in the right hands, but unfortunately not going to pan out right there for NJCU. And now we're seeing good guns, and NJCU going up 2 rounds, spraying through this smoke right here, getting a little bit of damage there, but Eve going to find Demiurge right there for that first pick. And again, C is looking good. Mai does find the kill on Varv, gets one on Semi as well, looking actually really good right there, seriously cleaning it up a little bit. Oh my god.
Sky cannot heal themselves is the big distinction between them and Sage, obviously. They are going to look here potentially for a play, but there are no... Just don't know that Greedy is there staring them in the back of the head. And I was going to say that bonus could have been devastating for New Jersey if they flubbered that a little bit. But nope, it's going to be Mai and seriously keeping them in that one. Going to find 2 frags while going down each. And that's all they needed to secure that round and put themselves back into the fight here. But not a lot of money here for Demiurge and Mai. They're going to have a rough bye.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, Mai keeping them afloat. You know, not letting the snowball get any larger. But yeah, that bad econ with those deeks, like, that's going to be tough. You know, you have to make a little bit of sight luck, I feel like, is going to factor in here for which site Bryant chooses to push here. The Bulldogs are looking mighty good thus far in this game in terms of consistency. Kind of dropped that a little bit. You know, you had everyone flood through Garage, and then mine seriously just kind of cleaned up most of it. We are waiting to see how this is going to unfold right here for all of them. Will they pick the right site? Will they pick the one with the sheriffs, or will they pick the behind door number 1? Will they find a phantom, or will they find a sheriff?
Guys, they're not dividing those guns, those rifles between sites a little bit more. Dead, gonna leave. I mean, it's common to leave the cipher to anchor what C alone here. But will it be enough? Mitchell is gonna come in. The flash is ill-timed. Still blinded. Greedy has to find get out of here. Doesn't even decide to use the updraft. Is gonna get taken out, but the trades are there. 3 on 3 now, potentially for the retake, but there's 2 sheriffs. Now only 1. As Varv is behind. He's gonna be looking for a fight with seriously here. And the wall is just gonna secure that this heaven area is not gonna be an issue.
What a great wall by Varv too, right? Kind of forces an overcommitment. Demi gonna be finding that gun, actually. This is looking a lot better. They've already pushed past the wall, so that main point of contention is already taken, but Shed staying so consistent, unwavering, finding that third round, sorry, for Bryant right there. And that's going to put the econ hurting on NJCU right now. They were already trying to force up a little bit with those sheriffs and those big guns right there. But now we're seeing saves and hard times financially all around right there for NJCU.
Up I go.
Guess Greedy is hoping they at least get a kill on Orb here along with the death, because next round they're going to have no money for a gun. Going to have to rely on those knives. They're the only one committing substantial amount of money into this round. It's actually going to be Bryant's Jet here, using those knives first. Another aggressive defense here. Hasn't played out the best for them so far, but I guess they're believing it's their best shot, their only chance here. Is the dog I don't think finds the Astra there. As no, Astra in fact is going to find Greedy. They got the death. I don't know if they got that orb though, but they might have knives for next round, and that's going to be key for their economic ability. But Demiurge is unchecked. I don't believe they know this. The dog didn't sign him out, but this turret will. Great setup for this kid, Joey.
Yeah, that's tough. Not, I think, knowing where the sentry was. I don't know. I guess they were trying to smoke off the sentry or something. Maybe misheard where the positioning was. But that's going to be pretty telling of where Demiurge is. And they're going to be forced to back off there as Ace side is being completely overtaken by Bryant right now. And you've got Greedy down as well. You know, not really much damage on Bryant right now. Is the only person really dinged up is going to be Sky. This has been tough. It just seems like the retakes have been so difficult for NJCU this entire time, as we do see that breach being posted up in the corner right there. And Eve going to be finding a kill on Seriously Serial. Not going to be seeing Demi. Demi barely managing to kill Eve in that situation. Semi going to be taking out Justin. Farv on Demi, but Shed ultimately going to clean up the round for the attackers. And I don't know how this is going to pan out, really. That, again, like you said before, not really a lot of money. The econ is looking kind of busted up across NJCU right now. Worst, it's not looking too great. Those are not investments I would want to make financially.
They've never really had a reset round, right? They split by, hoping that Greedy gets a kill or an orb, doesn't find it, now has to commit money into this round, or just sit there with a classic and nothing else. Can only buy that Spectre, as Eve is just they're just gonna spam that angle out. Greedy is known for that angle apparently, because they are quite aware of it. They just run around that corner spraying it down. Now, this attack Killjoy is gonna get so much area, gonna deny so much for them here. This is massive. I don't even know if my Desu will get out in time.
That looks... oh, no, not going to get out in time as they get fully detained right there. Getting locked up in jail for a little bit. But going to be finding their way out of it. Not going to slow too much. However, again, another fantastic A-site take here for Bryant. You know, it's looking pretty grim. You don't really have the best guns on the side of NJCU right now. And again, Varv, Justin kind of being aware of that lurk a little bit, but Varv closing it out. The pincer is growing ever so strongly for Bryant, finding themselves up another round. NJCU needs to really game plan it here. The econ has just been... they have been swimming in gold. They've been Scrooge McDucking right now on Bryant's side currently.
Yep, gonna be attack timeout. Coming out here from New Jersey. That's gonna try and reset the tempo here. Get themselves back in the game. This is a very, very, very different half. First half of the century. First half of the tempo back and forth. Even though it felt like the runs was on Bryant's side, they were still fighting there. But the Knights right now are in a rough spot. I mean, they're down. The economic stability is not quite there right now. What do you try to do to get back into this? What can you do? They've tried fast defenses, they've tried slow defenses, just they don't seem to have an answer.
I mean, they are getting, I feel like, fundamentally out-utiled and fundamentally outgunned for one. You know, they don't really have a lot in nature of all the initiation tools. Like, these pushes on site have been good because not only has Bryant been really covering their approach in, you know, they found their entry frags and Eve really managing to get a lot of kills. You've got that breach flash, you've got Sky, Intel, and Flash to really get that information for your team. But you've also got the post plant covered really nicely. You've got that Killjoy util, the sentry that's been covering flanks so well every single time. There's just no tricks to be pulled out of the sleeve for NJCU at this point, and even just with lurks like from Varv on Astra, you know, you're seeing so many instances where members of NJCU are getting picked off after the spike has been planted on the attacking side. So, you know, we do have all the ults up right now for NJCU, so maybe they can start to use those as like a building block to get them back in it, at least financially. But I feel like the econ disruption is like one of the main reasons NJCU has not really been able to find their footing here, because you've had Greedy, who's been forcing up a little bit. You've had the other members of the team. Everyone just seems to be financially off a beat with each other. I feel like NJCU needs to be on the same page if they're hoping to remotely even claw this one back, because Bryant has just been such a consistent force this entire series.
Yeah. And something interesting, I think, while we still have this tag timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Your butterfly versus regular butterfly. What you got? There's only one right answer here.
I haven't seen. Am I wrong, or does the Yoru butterfly knife not have all the animations that the recon butterfly knife has, or is it? I feel like it's just different.
I don't know, but I can say a butterfly knife is better, objectively.
Yeah, I think so
one
too.
is Yoru, and anything Yoru is bad.
I don't know what it is about every person I've casted with. I swear to God, every person I've casted with just hates Yoru. That's crazy to me.
Because they suck. Maybe if they were a better agent, they wouldn't be pranked on. But that's
true,
on them. So
they're getting dunked on out here.
Yeah. But again, pause the timer. Gonna turn back on here. Potentially the coach said something there to them. Hey guys, it's a rough half, but we still got this. Still come back. It's only 6 rounds in. You gotta get to 13. Still quite a ways to go. Even in this one half. Still got 6 more rounds ahead of us. What can we do with our current situation? Finally, Knives is up for Greedy. Can they do anything here? Utila's gonna get committed over to C. 5-man push down long. They're looking for something. Aftershocks are going through. The breach Utila is gonna not hit anything quite yet, but the vulnerable goes down here onto that Astra. The Seekers as well gonna get committed. Shed finds out Greedy. They just have never been able to find any first pick, any first amount of value at all. Is not expecting Eve on top of that double box. And now it's just rough. A retake here with with very little utility, very little money. The Shed is just on a rampage and nothing they can do really. This is just down and out. It would require a miracle from Justin.
And a miracle does not seem to be here. This is not a Disney movie. This is a documentary. This is the harsh real world right now that we're facing. And Eve gonna be fighting that finishing blow on Justin. What? I think there just needs to be a reset on the half here or something. I mean, just everything has just been spiraling out of control for NJCU still. You know, managing to save up a little bit, but still looking like they're on hard times economically. You've got Greedy forcing that off again. No shield. No problem, I guess. But it's Varv has just come alive this game. You know, we saw a complete reversal where Penumbras was on top and Varv is on the bottom. It just seems like Bryant's roster had the flexibility going into this second game. You know, Varv has been getting so many lurk kills, so many picks here on out. NJCU, I feel like, needs to really shift into hyper defensive mode and really watch their backs, especially post plan as well. They're just losing one by one. It's truly a divide and conquer strategy being employed by Bryant right now, I feel like.
Look at him. He's all the way up mid. He actually comes out on A. 3 flags instantly. Finally, Greedy finds the flank on Varv, but little too late. Can you retake with the op? Not likely. But Justin might just make it happen. 2 to short, 1 to long. You have them isolated. Greedy is in, but has used a lot of that util, a lot of that movement. And Semi is going to give away the position with those Seekers. And no one's long. And Justin has made this round possible. Almost alone. Greedy's going to have to do something now. Justin gets taken on long, and Penumbras finds the duel as well. Neither Justin nor Greedy can close it out, and it was looking possible there for a second, despite that very, very dire start of that round, but not to be.
And again, hard times all around for NJCU. It's tough out here. I feel, again, one thing, I think they're just giving away too many picks early on. I mean, you had Varv pushed up so far through B. Not really any util stopping them in their path. Greedy kind of abandoning their post a little bit to lurk mid. There were 3 kills that already unfolded right there. I feel like NJCU needs to fully focus, I feel like, on retake. Or just staying back, because they're bleeding really early on in these rounds where they don't have to be so aggressive. I know they're a very offensive-sided team, traditionally, but, you know, they were very strong on defense and other metrics in past weeks that I've seen them play, but this time I feel like they're just giving openings. Greedy, though, gonna be managing to find Eve. Seriously, Serial taking out Semi right there. There's the start of something promising here for this round for NJCU. Now it's forcing with how pushed up they are. Bryant scrambling a little bit as Seriously Serial still stays up. Verve, though, gonna find that pick right there mid as well. Now the game is a little bit more scrambled. Once again, you've got these separate 1v1s, really no one being able to officially trade each other out. Demiurge getting caught mid, not looking towards window. Anyone could be anywhere on this map right now, honestly.
Wall comes out, splitting them across. Greedy and Seriously Serial on different ends of the map right now. Going to be some 1v1s to occur. If it doesn't go Serial's way, I mean, the most success they've had, I think, on both maps in rounds has been when Greedy is getting those first picks like the Jet usually does, or is at least getting traded out. And you also have Seriously doing some seriously amazing work. I had to go for it. Sorry, low-hanging fruit. I'm quite a simple man.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I see the easy puns. I take them.
Go for it. This coordination, though, you've got this, you know, Astra posted up. You've got the Killjoy swarm grenades. You've got the gravity wells. There's really no chance, I feel like, that Seriously is going to be retaking here. As Shed is trying to get this op out of Seriously's hand, but Greedy not going to let Shed get it right there, but still another... Oh my god, whoa. A close escape for Greedy right there. And I don't think they had any shields that round, too. I'm pretty sure. They barely managed to escape with their life right there. As unfortunately, though, another round being dropped, and the econ looking more than good enough for Bryant to really patch it up as they go up 8-1. And when you're going up this far attacking side, that makes your job so much harder if you're NJCU, you know, especially when this half does finally come. You have to take sites so many more times now. There's such an uphill battle you have ahead of you. It's looking more and more grim for NJCU as this series goes on.
I just think you've seen Bryant's ability to read the map a lot more effective, it would seem, on Haven so far. On Ascent, it seemed like they would know what to do, but could get a little bit too cautious. So far, they have had, I would say, a great mix of cautiousness and aggressiveness. Correctly timed. Again, KJ ult, so effective when you just put it on short. I mean, they don't have to back up all the way out to spawn. But now I want to see them take this point right now. Falcon Killjoy is now down. The lockdown is gone. You're going to see Serial pop the Empress here. As they don't see the person mid. They could get caught out here. But instead, they take them out. Never mind. Greedy finds that kill through the wall. And they're just looking for a retake potential here. But it's so difficult.
Okay, though, we do have a little bit of something being started flank here. I don't know if Mai is privy to where this Killjoy is right now, and they're not going to be as Shed finds this kill. The Lurk is being thwarted right here. We are seeing the start of something, though, in terms of site control. We see Justin taking out Semi. Can Justin find more frags to really secure this site? Penumbra is going to be cleaning it up. Demiurge versus Shed right now. I don't know if this is going to happen. You've got the gravity well coming out. There's not enough time for this defuse right here, and that's going to be another round going to Bryant right here as Demi desperately tries to grab that op for Greedy on their way out. And again, it does not matter. It doesn't matter that the econ has been shattered again, because these wins just keep stacking up for Bryant right now. Again, we're going to be seeing little forces coming out. We are 1 round before we go to half now, and it's gonna, or rather 2 rounds before we go to half now, and it's looking so scary. Just the spikes have been planted, and again, it's this A site. It just doesn't seem like NJCU has an answer to these A site pushes on Bryant. They've been able to get away with it over and over and over again. No end in sight.
It's hard here for the Knights. They're trying to remain stoic in the face of this adversity, but
it's tough to be a Knight.
It hasn't paid off as they have committed completely gamble that they're not going C. Not even a speck of Cypher utility is there. The stars are now coming out. Demiurge has to rotate over, put those stars down themselves. They're going to use some gravity wells, try and stall out this push, but they are just in there. They have better weapons, they have better positioning, they have better post-plant utility. Now this is a tough position and quite tragic, really, unless Serial can start something on this flank. The turret doesn't spot them, it's just too late, but they get caught out by Varv.
No. I love the idea right there from Seriously Serial too. It just didn't pan out, but Penumbra's going to be cleaning up Mai right now. Only a lone Australian to take this round back, but gonna be unfortunate there as Shed takes it for a team ace, actually, for Bryant. And yeah, like you said at the beginning of the round, they put all their chips on, they gotta push A again, right? They pushed A like 800 times this time. There's no way they're not gonna push A again. And right as they all set up to defend A once more, it just seems like Bryant knows something that NJCU doesn't, is they managed to take out another round. They get a C push almost seamlessly. All that site control and the guns. There's like almost no hope of a retake right there. We've got the last bastion of defense right now for NJCU as they spend their final round. We do see the concussion coming out. Mai trying to scope out C, seeing if they're going to come through. That's a very cheeky camera location. I might take that for myself. I might take that for myself a little bit. Positioned on the wire. This is looking bad worst. I don't know.
Now they have committed to the hope they go C, as they put 3 there. And Cypher utility is all there too.
We're desperate.
And they're going A this time.
Get out of my way.
You're already seeing Greedy having to rotate through spawn. The stars are down. Heaven is covered. Main is covered. The short execute should be coming soon with that breach flash. We'll see how long it takes. They don't even need it. The knives are all they need. A nice push from Eve. And the frag comes through. Now they're through sight. This star preventing Greedy from having any impact on the round. Justin's gonna try to flash him out there, try to get something done. Mai finds Varv, who was looking in mid. You've lost stars in the post plant now, but Jet will have to do the cloud bursts. Are doing that in a much shorter duration. Potentially Justin could find something here if the sky does peek from hell. Just looking for something here, but the flashes are just too much, but they find it! 2 frags here, but Greedy is gone. Trade is good here from Shed, and E finds the flank. 2v2, now a 2v1 is just not enough.
Gosh,
E finds the kills, and 11-1/2. To start it out is not what you need. You need pistol and the anti-eco here if you're Bryant. And if you're Jersey, well, you need a whole lot more than that.
Shed, Varv, and Eve. All just so crazy. Shed doing such a good job post-plant. You know, after all the util has been exhausted, they've been able to consistently frag out and just take heads. Varv has just been such a menace on lurking as well that first half right there. Like, just kind of a lot of mid-control being given up for free, too, by NJCU to kind of let Varv in. They dropped a lot of rounds because Varv was able to find straight kills. Eve also doing a fairly good job getting entry frags and managing to get on site. It is just looking impossible for NJCU, but we have a new half, fresh econ to go. I've seen crazier comebacks in my time, that's for sure. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen this half right here as we see already an A push is mounted up. But now this is going to be tough. On the attacking side, you're kind of at an 8 disadvantage. In this pistol round, 11-1, if you drop this, that is almost pretty much a guaranteed second round coming through too, which is going to put NJCU on the brink of destruction right here. Because this is the only game they have left to play with.
2v4 post plant is a go. You have stars, you have movement here for Greedy, but that's about it. Your right clicks are going to have to be enough. The heal comes down on the KJ. You don't even have that person low anymore, but Panumbus was low to start this out, and Demiurge finds the heads. It's the Jet 1v1, and all the movement is still available here for Greedy. Will he know what the fake?
Oh my
It's not a
God.
fake, it's not a fake, you gotta go! Doesn't even find it, the headshot in midair, a nice flick into the sky. And Eve does it again. He's just been absolutely insane for them so far. I mean, what can you say about this? This is Jet so far for Eve has been impeccable.
There's one thing we know, it's that pros don't fake. Time and time again, tradition. Also to the control right there. Greedy was so far off site, and the bomb was positioned for the exact opposite situation. That 1v1, you saw so much vision obstruction just by nature of where the spike was planted by NJCU. Eve was able to get that almost fully diffused. Updraft being mighty risky right there for Greedy too, wanting to maybe get like a right click in the air or something like that. We're on what could be the very last round. We're seeing forces up on both sides. It's truly do or die right now for NJCU as they hope to find their way back into this. But I don't know how it's going to go. You've just got better econ, a little bit better of a force up coming out of Bryant right now. It just seems like every round there have been fundamental mistakes that have been really crushing NJCU in these instances right here. As Semi manages to find that kill on Justin. Demiurge gonna be stinging Semi. I usually don't see people using the stinger, but Demiurge looking pretty nice with it so far as we're seeing a 3v3 come out. Eve taking out Demiurge right here. Seriously gonna find Shed, but Barb gonna be finding Seriously, and now it's Mai versus the world right now. It's Mai versus Barb. Who's gonna get it right here? And Mai keeps them in the game. That was terrifying.
That was
to say the least.
As close as you can get with winning that round. I mean, if Barb's spray was just a little bit cleaner there, you lost the game. 13-1, but they're still in it. One more round still available here for the Knights. But man, they have a 10-round deficit just to hit overtime. Not to win, just to hit overtime. Just to continue fighting. And right now it's still a mixed by 3 Spectres, but they are going into what is essentially a full eco. And finally, Greedy finds the first pick. Semi a little bit overzealous in that mid position. And they have now done the gamble. Why is the KJ all the way in spawn is my question.
Is she AFK?
No, they're back. They got back. They had to go let the dogs out. Don't worry.
They had to go let the dog out, maybe feed him. I don't know what happened right there, but that's huge right there. Shed being caught lacking right there as Demi finds that kill right there.
You're gonna commit a wall here?
This is also a league game. Like this is for playoffs. There's stuff on the line here. You can't be affording to go AFK in these instances. As Greedy has this one way right here that Maya so graciously set them up with, and they finally got a solid plant down. They have the numbers advantage. They have the guns advantage at this point. NJCU has now got a proper recipe for success. We see that gravity well coming out right here. Mai patrolling as well with this camera, kind of checking back and forth to see where entrances. No shot this happens, right?
No shot, they say.
No shot, right?
No shot. It's put up besides another.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think you secure the round, but the economic damage is massive here. They're gonna get up though. They're gonna have to run away as fast as possible. Numbers might even be able to gather a gun. No, was instead trying to chase.
Tried to chase, yeah. Tried to find those picks to make econ even worse.
On a full eco is perfectly reasonable. And the buy is gonna come in here. And again, it's a marathon to get back into this game.
Oh yeah. It truthfully is. It's not a sprint, you know. You can have 1 or 2 good rounds that are good for your whole squad, but if you can't really maintain that econ, if you can't really keep setting yourself up in favorable positions here, because you have to thoroughly outplay Bryant for, what is it, 9 rounds straight at this point. You can't drop another one. Unless you get, I mean, you can force it to overtime, 12-12, right? You get those, you know, win by 2. It'll be good at that point, but
the spike.
It's still, the econ isn't just right yet, it seems like. Granted, there was a little bit of a force up on Bryant as well. I believe they haven't full bot either, so this is really kind of even in terms of guns right now, I'd say, for both of these teams, but looking for the positioning towards C right now, it doesn't look like they can find anything just yet. And worst, what is the recipe for success here? How is NJCU going to dig themselves out of this hole?
They're trying to slow play this towards C. They have to, pushing up long. Bryant don't know that they're in there just yet.
Down with.
Oh,
As Justin finds a kill on the Varv there. And they're gonna even jump out of the wall. That's not a recipe for success. Especially when you get your head taken off by Justin once again. Desu. Mai finds a kill there. And now it's just a Jet with knives running around back here. We'll see if Greedy's able to find anything. There's a Breach and a Jet right next to the position. And no, Semi's gonna take them out. You might just have to save this. I don't know if this retake is worth it. It's just you need those guns.
even if you are about to, guarantee yourself the W, you want to. I feel like the main goal for Bryant right now is to make NJCU bleed just a little bit. But Eve going to be taken out on that off draft right there. I don't think Semi has what it takes in the tank, at least with where they're positioned right now, to even remotely get this round back. As they slowly try to back off, maybe save this gun a little bit. And it looks like all of NJCU is finally going to make it out cleanly after a round, except for Greedy. This instance, though, as I say it, Semi getting a pick on Mai, and again, the Econ getting disrupted just a little bit here. Just a tad. Just a smidge.
Yes, and
Still, though, it's disrupted.
yeah, it's just
not
we still have a lot of
unified.
money. I mean, look at
1 second, peeps. I gotta
weird.
visit the Astros
12-4 now.
stars.
You have 7.8k here on Shed. Can they start getting some buys in, or do they want to save this? Just Semi here. Gonna be forcing behind
Here.
I think they're forcing up, yeah.
full shields. And they are looking to get some guns in people's hands.
Ooh.
Just the share of those numbers, but we've seen that.
We got
They
the
are
op and
deadly
the
with
mini
that.
op.
Yeah, they are deadly with that sheriff, so I'm not that worried about them.
And now things are looking better than ever, I feel like, for NJCU. Still fine. They all found themselves with pretty good guns, I'd say. So it's not looking like it's the worst for them at this point. Seen Justin spray through a little bit. I don't think anyone got dinged up through that spray. Just a slow pacing here. Mai finding that camera right there, though it is gonna get taken out. So eyes mid, kind of not good. There's not really a lot of intel that NJCU has to work with right now to find themselves out of this pickle. Their team, I feel like, was a little bit more set up comp-wise to be somewhat defense-oriented. I mean, you still have the Astra, you still have the Cypher, still got some, attack power. That's what I like, I think, about the duo of the double duelists right here. Is seriously Serial finds Var, finds Penumbras, and we're seeing the start of a miracle, perhaps, right here for NJCU.
I mean,
This
it's
is
so
looking
easy to
interesting.
just slip up one round, though.
Oh yeah, it's true.
And I
They're
don't want to
treading
jinx anything.
carefully. It's
I
true.
am here on their
30 seconds left.
broadcast. Don't want to jinx them too hard. I have a lot of power here as a caster, I'll have you know. I can cause things to happen at will.
It's true.
As Semi just kind of runs into Demiurge there in mid, and Demiurge sends no chance, ran over. Bridge is a very strong robot man. Android,
like this.
cyborg.
A good lurk coming out from Greedy right here, kind of stuffing, forcing another, what appears to be, I think, another save. Greedy kind of scaring off Bryant, kind of making them save their guns a little bit. And I think we're going to be seeing, hopefully, an attempt at completely recuperating the Econ. I guess that's what happens when you have the extra rounds to play with, as Semi takes out Greedy's lurk right there. Gonna kind of send off warning shots for all those coming off of C-Site, like, hey, you don't really want to push past this. Are they going to attempt to push past Semi right here? Is Semi going to try and make something brazen happen? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Oh, wait a minute. No, nothing.
The afterburn is not gonna find that kill yet. Still a mountain to climb, but they're making their way. They're making progress.
Yeah.
Do that
4
They're
rounds
doing
straight,
it
that's a start.
convincingly too.
That's
It's
a
not like
start.
these rounds are 1 kill away from, well, maybe one of them was, but 1 kill away from going the way of Bryant. They've been quite convincing so far. Momentum is building here for a comeback, but can it be maintained? It's going to rely on them to keep this form up.
True, we do have ults. We do have the Neural Theft online for NJCU. You also have the Blade Storm. We've got also the Lockdown and the Breach ult coming out of Bryant right now. So it's gonna be curious how these factor in. We've also got Seekers with Justin farming that ult orb really nicely, so this could aid in a push onto site right here. We just need that opening pick. We see Seriously trying to navigate through. Catches Varv lacking, but doesn't get the kill. And now they know that Seriously's in Garage. This is going to be huge. This was such a huge opportunity right here for Seriously to kind of find that first pick. And now we're seeing the support come in. We're seeing the sprays. Mai going to be taking out Semi right here. This is one of the sloppiest entries I've seen, but it's working. The Seekers do get popped right there as Eve is forced back. Oh my god.
They should be able to overwhelm this. Just the AWP in Eve's hands. And there's multiple closing in. Eve is doing a miracle. Eve has found 3 so far, looking for 4. Can't find it, but he's opened the way. This is possible here if they decide to go for it. Doesn't look like they are. Potentially. This spike has to go down. All the util is out from Jet. This could be the round that it goes back in their favor. Straight from Defender's spawn, they're looking for something, anything here. I wonder if they have any utility available. What can they do? They have to walk into 2. They can trade at any moment, but they have no idea where this KJ is. They have no way of finding out either. Just gonna have to be dry peek as dry peek, but Greedy finds it! And Shed is not able to close it out. It could have been a disaster there, but averted so far.
These rounds are giving me heart attacks worst. I'm gonna be real. That was insanely scary from Seriously Serial as luckily Mai manages to clean it up. In that garage skirmish right there, that could have been a huge pick or just a huge opening. Luckily, NJCU having the composure to really close it out, especially with E finding that top 3K. That was ridiculous. We are seeing saves actually coming out. Yeah, we're seeing a bunch of saves coming out, so this is really the snowball starting to build up for NJCU. They are beginning this insane comeback right now as they're trying to find their way. We are seeing some forcing in terms of positioning right here as Varv finds Mai. Demi going to be taking out Semi, though. Demi also going to be taking out Varv for the 2K. Shed taking out Demi. It's getting some guns back in their favor almost a little bit, I think. Looking mighty scary at this point. Still, though, we got a pretty dinged up Jet and Eve. Going to be taking out Justin. We've got the 2v2 coming out. We still got the double duelist team, though, out here. Greedy, though.
Why do you have your shorty out?
That's why. Got someone posted up a window right there.
One enemy remaining.
They're going to find it. Greedy will take out Eve, shut it down. But Shed here can grab a Phantom or a Vandal. Has their pick of the. Has their pick. Could go another time. Seriously Serial and Greedy Vicus versus Shed. 2v2, 2v1 on the retake. They can trade this out.
Is anyone watching long? Yeah, we see Seriously watching long, getting into the gunfight a little bit. Now all tension on Shed right now. Do you see the swarm grenade not get popped
with the shorty?
Wait for
never
it.
mind, go with the shorty, I guess.
Good to go.
Apparently, we just go with shorties instead of phantoms these days. I actually believe the Phantom has a higher time to kill, faster time to kill too. But
that's our Greedy.
We don't care here. We don't care. We have classics too that are free, but you know we have shorties instead. But it's worked for them so far. I mean, this was 12-1, and now look at it, right?
We're seeing a Cinderella story unfold, I think, right before our very eyes. I feel like it just looks like NJCU has found their formula. They found out how to cooperate. This is where they're at their strongest. Make no mistake about it. They are favored as an aggressive team. They are a team that likes to be on offense traditionally. You know, no stranger to it. In fact, but Eve gonna be finding that pick on Seriously Serial. That's huge. That's a huge pick for them to start off with. And one of your duelists going down that quickly, no real ability for Greedy and Seriously to now work together. Lots of ults up still for Bryant as well. This is so scary. There's so much in terms of pitfalls that NJCU has to avoid at this point. There's not another half that can reset or save them from this situation. This is go time. This is where they start having to get these picks. They have to play more carefully than ever. They got to make sure their gunplay is on point as well. There's so much riding on this as the clock dips below sub a minute.
We'll see here if this personnel deficit finally leads to the end. They have the stars set up. They are ready here for an A take. All they need is the rotations over, perhaps even from the sky. This flash could be critical, but instead, are just going to throw in those smokes. I'm going to spam out Heaven right now. That turret is still alive there. Finally going to take it out. Semi is ready to try and push out. The Seekers are going to be used here by Justin. They now have information.
Oh boy.
Or not on Justin. It was not by Justin. Instead, it's going to be defensive lockdown here. Going to push them off of this site. They have to run. But they might even be stopped.
Oh!
Pain into the
No
volley. This is a lot of
way!
damage down. That's 22 HP on Greedy right now. And they're gonna get pushed by Semi with the flashbang. That's 2 kills right there. Both Justin and Greedy were not enough to stop them. It's all on Semi Edge with the G's are coming out. And it's over.
Defenders win.
It's the exhausting match here for NJ is finally over.
Oh man.
They had to fight back, be on their A game round after round after round. And it just wasn't enough.
And we saw throughout that right there, the breach ult coming in clutch more than ever. It just also didn't seem like NJCU, the early game avalanche was just too much for them to dig themselves out of. That ult at the end pushing Greedy directly into the Killjoy swarm. And when you're concussed like that, you can't really get out of that position. You can't really I don't know if you can't use your abilities, but I'm pretty sure you cannot find yourself with any proper movement. That swarm grenade combo was perfectly coordinated right there by Semi and Shed, and that just kind of did them in. Crushing loss to NJCU, especially as they started to mount that comeback. I thought that game was going to be a long one, but it just didn't look like they could get anything started. It just seemed like the double attacking side first, or rather the double defending side first, didn't really work for NJCU. They just bled way too many rounds, I feel like, on attack side to Bryant. They're going to have to game plan more as they go in. I believe this is the last week of the NECC regular season before we go into playoffs. So Bryant Bulldogs are still going to maintain their standing at number 2. We'll see if NJCU is going to drop past that after this loss, but who knows? Either way, that was quite the series to be unfurled right there from both teams.
There was hope, and it was dashed before our very eyes right there.
That's right.
And it's hard because you got to be, as the players, you're like, oh, our attack was good. If only our defense was better. Those thoughts are obviously creeping into your mind, but now you just have to completely focus now on those playoffs, right? I believe they should stay in 3rd place unless, I believe it's URG Red or Fanshawe Falcons. One of those two wins, up to 6-2, same record as Gothic Knights, and have I guess they would be tied, right? They would be tied because Gothic Knights is now 12-5, and if either of those two teams win 2-0, they will also be 12-5. So I guess it will come down to round differential then, maybe.
Yeah, it could come down to the brass tacks right there, but either way, guys, thank you so much for joining us here today. I think that's going to be the end of our time here today. I believe, be back on the NJCU Twitch channel and pretty soon.
Smash later,
Smash Brothers coming up next, so that's going to be pretty exciting. I think it's going to be around 8 p.m. So stick around if you're a Smash Brothers fan. Either way, Worst, it was a pleasure. Very nice to cast with you. You can find him over at worst_casts on Twitter. You said you don't tweet too much, I feel like, but you are in
only when majors are probably happening around Smash. I'm in a lot of spheres, but you might see some likes and some retweets here and there from multiple different games. But
and if you have enjoyed the words that have come out of my mouth, you can find me at Fan9S on Twitter as well as on Twitch. I also have a YouTube channel, Fang Plays, where I upload lots of videos. Sometimes I've been very bad with it lately, but either way, guys, that is going to be it for us today at NJCU eSports for the Valorant leg of today. Worst, do you have any closing thoughts for our people back at home?
I'll just thank you for tuning in. Even if the match didn't go the way of the Gothic Knights, now you still can get them support going in the playoffs here. Still very strong in the season so far. 6-2. There's no slouch there, right? You're gonna be in that upper half of Challengers Yellow, so you're doing really good right now.
Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, there's still things to look forward to, even if you take this loss here. But again, thank you all for joining us here tonight, and we hope you all have a good night. As that's very awkward, but yes, it happens.
Peace out, guys.
My brain failed me.